Hello, everybody. I am excited to be back for episode number 2 of our client transformation series featuring our client, Carolyn Murphy. We are going to bring her up now. We're so excited. We made so much progress last week, and now we're moving into week 2, and just amazing things are happening. I want you all to get ready to participate. While we're going through the initial presentation, we do ask that you remain muted, but there will be times where we will ask you to unmute and join us in the conversation. So we're going to get right into it. So last week, we talked about branding. We shared the start of your website, Carolyn, and we told people about your story. How did you feel making so much progress over the last week? Because just to remind the people, she had a 5-year plan. She said, I'm going to do this in 5 years. And I told her we will do it in 6 weeks. So Carolyn, how are you feeling right now?
Still overjoyed, overwhelmed with joy.
Yeah, absolutely. It is an exciting journey, not only for her, but for me and for those who are going to receive what it is that she offers. We had a conversation yesterday, and she was talking about sometimes it seems like I'm more excited than she is. And Carolyn, why do you say that?
Because there are times when we were talking and ideas would just pop up in your head. And I just have to sit back and marvel at what God is doing.
Yes, certainly, certainly. We are certainly excited and just looking forward to how it's all going to end. Before we get into tonight's session, I want to remind people of Carolyn's short story. So I am going to share that again with you all now.
I knew that something was wrong with me because I was angry all the time. Fear has been a big part of my life. Um, I always excelled in things that I knew I was going to excel in. Losing siblings at a very young age. Um, I'm the oldest of a total of 6. 3 are deceased. So I was in charge of watching my siblings. One sibling died of brain cancer um, 2 years after she was born. 2 siblings at once, at the same time, died in a house fire. My mother had me when she was 16 years old. So at that point, she was going through her own trauma, but I didn't know it. That trauma left me with wondering, why was I saved? Fast forward, being molested still around that time, also being molested by a grown man. And then fast forward to when I was 17, I was raped. After that, as the Lord told me, I had been living a life of Russian roulette. I never turned to drugs. I never did alcohol, drunk alcohol, but my choice of drugs was men. In and out of relationships, looking for love in all the wrong places. When a girl has been violated, she eventually equates love with sex. And those are 2 different things. I want to share my story with the people because, first of all, it's time. I can no longer hide behind the fear and the shame. It's time also because I know that I have been healed and delivered from the things that has happened to me. When you are living in shame and living in fear, it causes you to resist change, and it keeps you in a fixed mindset. And now that I have been delivered out of that, the growth mindset forces me to move forward. So I believe that we all have a purpose, but it's shameful when you know you have a purpose and you haven't sought out the purpose. I have sought out my purpose. This is part of the plan, and I'm just embracing the plan and walking therein.
Just to recap, Carolyn has such a powerful story of overcoming, um, being born to a teen mom, living in and out of places that were just not appropriate for children. Um, it's a lot of trauma there, as she mentioned in the video. But despite that trauma, she has decided to do something about it. And that is why we are currently on this journey. I want to take a moment to remind people of Carolyn's goals. Remember, we mentioned before that she had a 5-year goal of trying to get to the point where she is writing a book and get it on stage. But we told her she could do it in 6 weeks. And so I am going to share her goals with you once again so that you can be aware of the amazing things that she wants to do and how we are going to actually help her to achieve that. One of Carolyn's main goals was to write a book and publish it. She wanted to scale her business. She wants to become a community change agent, and she wants to cause global transformation. When we met with her, she couldn't believe when we said that we could actually help her do all the things that she wanted to do. And so our goal in the 6-week period is to help her write and publish her book, set up her professional website, transform her social media pages, as well as develop her coaching packages, create a course, and craft her signature talk. And week 7, we will put it all together and we will have a huge lunch. So we are super excited about that. Her actually being able to have her book, her website, and you all being able to see the total package and how we brought it all together. So, Carolyn, as we continue in this journey, what have you learned this week in the process?
I've learned, reconfirmed, or relearned that all things are truly possible. I relearned that support is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Having the right people backing you, supporting you is crucial. When you have those people who believe in you, even when you don't believe in you, that's even more precious.
Yes, absolutely. One of the things that we talked about last week was your website. So initially, I asked Carolyn where was her website, and it was we were laughing about it because I'm going to show you a depiction of what I received of her website. So um, just pretend like that's me walking in the dark looking for her website. So I said she has all this wonderful information that she is sharing with people, but she did not have a central location. So we started working on the website. And last week, this was our progress. She talked about some of the other elements that she wanted to have on the website. She really wants to be in tune with the African American community, the African American church. And so we made sure to implement those things into her website. So she has not seen the latest updates to her website, and I'm going to share them now to get her live reaction. So we listened to what she said, and we started. What I'm presenting now is the first part of the website. So we're able to finish the complete first page. As you see here, you have what her goal is, which is to transform people's minds and shift them to hope. And the summary: receive a listening ear, renew your life through coaching, reshape how you live through our self-paced courses, gain greater self-awareness and ability to excel through the use of emotional intelligence, skills, and tools to overcome. So it's such an exciting goal for people to have. Transform your mind and shift to hope. Also, I want to, we started getting into telling people about her business, Getting in Touch with Me, LLC, just to give them an overview of what people can expect and the type of service that they will receive. And then we start implementing her various goals and start featuring what they will actually receive: the peer-to-peer experience, the coaching, the courses. She wants to foster a culture of ongoing learning and development, promote diversity and inclusion, empower individuals. Also, she wants to expand her reach and impact. She wants to measure and improve that impact as well. So this is the current draft of her website. We're super excited about it. You'll see we're playing with colors. We're seeing what's working, what's not working. We're getting feedback from her so that she can have exactly what it is that she wants. Carolyn, how are you feeling? Because this is the first time you have seen the updates.
This is awesome. I have to pinch myself daily to just believe that this is actually happening.
Yeah.
So this is awesome.
Yeah. And one of the reasons we were able to really get into her website this week and make some of those crucial changes is because we started working on her digital brochure this week. Um, and that took a little bit more work getting into it to try to condense everything down to convey the type of message that she wanted to convey. How did you feel in our progress with the digital brochure?
Yet again, overjoyed just to see things coming together slowly. So I'm looking forward to the finished touches.
Yeah, absolutely. And we definitely want the audience to get involved with that aspect of things. But before I share what we have thus far concerning the digital brochure, I want to share with you the purpose of a digital brochure because I don't think people really understand why having a brochure is important for their business. So one of the things that a brochure does is capture your customer's attention. It captures your customer's attention. It presents the information in an interesting way. It's versatile. It can provide you with lead generation. It provides you an overall view of who you are for people to just have a better understanding. It outlines what you offers. It builds trust. It's quick, convenient, and text message ready. And I think that's my favorite reason right there, because I love to take my brochure and just send it to people. I wanted to share with you the actual first draft of Carolyn's brochure. As you see, we have implemented her colors, which is deep blues, reds, and oranges. You can see that we have placed her business name right up front, a depiction of someone who is struggling because she is trying to offer hope. So this will attract the person who is struggling. And she's sharing her overall purpose, which is to warm the body of Christ heart toward mental illness. She really wants to make mental illness awareness more a part of the community overall. You see here that we share her social media pages, how people can contact her by text message. And also here you can see some of the results that she wants to manifest, such as improved relationships, communication, productivity, and success, and her overall pillars of education, advocacy, and empowerment. This is the outside of the brochure. This is a threefold brochure if you decide to print it out. But we have been utilizing it by just text messaging it to people, and we have received such great reactions to that. So this is the inside of the brochure, and we share what the programs are, what her overall vision is, and why she exists. So she is pretty much ready to go. We are going to make some changes because one of the things I asked Carolyn to do is get feedback from various people she knew about the actual brochure. And so, Carolyn, what is some of the feedback that you received from people concerning the brochure?
Most people are saying I love it. I've gotten some people back to say, well, put this color, do this, that, but for the most part, it's been I love it.
That's wonderful. And it is so important as you are developing your products that you do get feedback. You should not be afraid of feedback from people because you want to develop the best product possible, especially if those people are within your target audience. One of the things that I love that the brochure offers is a little bit of insight into Carolyn's story without telling the whole story, because people want to know, how are you relating to me? How will your service best serve me? And they get a brief little glimpse of that from the brochure. So I'm just excited. I know, Carolyn, you're feeling more confident about everything as we're going along, because the pieces are, in fact, coming together. And just to get audience reactions early on, just to send out initially, say, hey, what do you think about this? It makes you feel good. And like I said, it is important to make sure that you do receive that feedback so you can know exactly what the audience is looking for. And we will be making changes. We won't reveal the final changes just yet. We will reveal that in week 7 when we reveal her entire package. All right. So let me just ask really quick, and you can just drop this in the chat. Would you want to receive a digital brochure versus receiving something in your hands or someone just telling you about what they do?
Can I just jump in here? I didn't
Sure.
see
Let me pin you. I want to make sure we
yeah.
can see you.
Yeah, I didn't say anything when you asked us because I know she sent the brochure to me and I didn't quite figure out what it was. That's why when you asked just now, I didn't answer. But this to me is like that 5-minute elevator speech and then some information to run with. You know what I mean? I think it's absolutely a wonderful idea. Yeah. If she get a few lines, she can cut her 5 minutes elevator speech down to 1 minute along
Yep.
with this elevator, and everything is condensed in this one brochure. I think it's absolutely a powerful piece of with handout, literature, information, business card, all in one. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. And that is what we want to make it convenient for people. And I love what someone is saying in the chat. I want to make sure I'm saying this right. Lucia, she says a digital brochure reduces the risk of getting lost versus a paper one. Absolutely. And sometimes you're looking for people's information, and all you have to do is go right to your phone and have that digital brochure. You can even put that picture of the digital brochure next to the person's name within your phone. So you'll always know I can go here and find it. So it is convenient and a fast way, that 5-minute elevator pitch that you can just share with people, and just an exciting way to introduce yourself to people as you continue to move forward in business. One of the other things that we started working on is organizing Carolyn's book. She had a lot to unpack. And one of the things that she had said is she knew she needed to tell her story, but she was struggling to determine the direction that her story needed to go in. Carolyn, just kind of share with the audience what the struggle was, with the direction and where you wanted to go with it.
Well, first of all, just not knowing even where to start, not knowing the process, but knowing that it was going to take a lot of time and a lot of money and some professional support. And when you don't have the time or the money or the professional support, you just put it on the back burner. And that's what I was doing. It was like kicking rocks down the road. I just didn't want to, that was a daunting task just to think about it. And then just having to unpack all that stuff, all the trauma in the past. So I wasn't ready then. I wasn't ready then, period. But now I am.
Yeah. And I think as you're unpacking the story of your life, and it's an involving trauma, we have to be very sensitive to that fact. And one of the things we did, we kind of just took our time. I had her just started telling me about her story and asking questions along the way so that we could unpack and get a timeline, because I knew there was a certain way I wanted the story to come forth. And so right now, I am going to share with you all the initial draft of her book chapters. We'll be talking about a lot of the trauma that she went through initially and what she was doing in response to that trauma. And then talk about some of the lessons that she learned in the process. And the way that we're doing this, or the methodology that we're following concerning this, is the screenplays plot methodology. And I just want to share that with you all. briefly. So the elements of a screenplay plot are exposition, inciting incident, rising action, climax, and resolution. The exposition, this provides the background information and it sets up the scene for the reader. So you'll often find this in the introduction or the first few chapters, which is exactly what we're doing with Carolyn. And then we'll have an inciting incident. And an inciting incident is something that pushes the character into action. And so oftentimes, and right along with that rise in action, you'll see that conflict, that failure, because many times in life, the reality is we raise up to the occasion and then we back down. And then we rise up again and we back down again. And so you'll see that inciting incident, those things that are pushing us to be better. And life happens. And so we continue to push and push and push. We deal with that conflict that's found in a rise in action. And of course, the climax is, do we succeed or do we fail? And then a resolution is the conclusion of it all, tying up loose ends and the life lessons that are learned along the way. So as we're thinking about this, I just want to go back to those chapters. And as you see, when you think about the exposition, like I said, the introduction and the chapter 1, the chapter 2, the house fire, these are the traumas that she faced, the things that set her life up on the path that she started taking actions that were adverse to her well-being. In chapter 4, she talks about my drug of choice. And if you remember from the video, she said her drug of choice was men. Then she ended up becoming a single mom. And that was a battle because her mother was a teen mom. And there were people who were telling her that that's what she was going to be as well. And so she's trying to overcome these battles without having the right equipping to overcome these battles. So you're seeing these cycles form within her life until she eventually starts to deal with a lot of the trauma and starts understanding herself better as a person so that she can move forward. Carolyn, I would love to just get your feedback at this point. Looking over those chapter titles, of course, we hashed it out in sessions and really got into it. How are you feeling about this? Because it is a lot of trauma involved in this.
I must say that I'm proud of me for opening up and telling my story. I think I said to you a few weeks ago, the only reason why I'm able to do this because I broke up with fear. I could have easily said I broke up with my fear, but the Lord let me know, had I said my fear, that means I was owning it. It was mine. And I no longer want to possess fear. So just being able to see those chapters and then, of course, getting more in depth with each chapter. It doesn't feel good to have to unpack or relive those things. But I thank God that He's brought me through it to be able to tell it. And it's bigger than me. And that's what I have to remind myself. It's not about me, it's bigger than me. So if I can just keep one person from committing suicide or just giving up hope, using my story is worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, it's bigger than you. And as we discuss in our sessions, I say all the time, the hard things that we go through, those life lessons that we learn, they're not just for us. They are, in fact, for other people. And so we are going to utilize that methodology to really bring readers in. We are excited for you all to get ready to start reading it. I'm not going to say whether or not we're going to have an introduction or first chapter next week, but we have started to delve into that part. It was I would say it was a difficult session. Listen, even it's her story, but listening to it emotionally, it just tears you up on the inside to think about people who are going through these things. But like Carolyn said, to be able to take her story and share with other people so that they may not have as difficult of a time, or they may be able to at least receive some type of coping tools so that they can move forward a bit faster than what it is that she did. Is all worth it. It is absolutely all worth it. I'm just excited as it continues to come together. Carolyn has been a great client, fully participating. I think one of the things that, like she said before, is when you are trying to write about your life, or even something surrounding your purpose, there's going to be difficulty there. You have to get past the shame part. You have to get past the people are going to judge me. And you really have to just start pouring out. And I tell my writers that all the time because they think, oh, I really shouldn't put that in there. But that is how people are connecting to you. And if you hold back on that part, where's the connection piece? How are they going to understand your circumstances? And so we have a life coach on here, and she understands more than anybody, I would say, that is an important part. People are connecting with you because of your story, and you're guiding them through so that they can do better or do it faster than you. And I just absolutely love seeing my author's stories come together. And I tell people, I don't care if you're writing a math book. If you choose to write a math book, there's a reason that you want to write a math book when there are 50 million other math books out there. You can still use those same elements, but your purpose in doing it is different, maybe from the person who wrote the last math book. So that is so important. At this time, I just want to open up the floor to receive any questions from people. You can ask a question of me, you can ask a question of Carolyn, or you can ask a question about the process. And when you do, I want to make sure I pin you so that everyone can see you. Does anyone have a question about anything that we went over tonight? A question for me or for Carolyn?
I don't have a question really. What I feel within myself with this process here with the book, I am feeling a certain freedom for Caroline, a certain unclogging. Like if everything was clogged in there, and with writing this book, she is just pushing out everything. Now, one of the things I want to say, don't even leave a piece of lint in that clog, unless, of course, you want to write a second book. That's all I'm feeling as you're talking about it, and I'm reading the highlights, the chapters. I'm feeling a certain freedom in myself for her. I'm feeling, really, as I call it, unclogging, just a freedom. No lint must be left unless it is a lint that you are deliberately holding back for book number 2 or book number 3.
I love it. I love
Me
it.
too.
Thank you so much. Does anyone else have any comments or questions that you would like to add? The floor is open and we have the time. Carol, would you like to add something while we wait for more volunteers?
I like what Coach Hyde said. There's Coach Hyacinth and Coach Bridget and Coach Glenda
Oh,
are
wow.
on the line. Yes. Coach Hyacinth and we take the same Christian life coach program together. And so I know she understands about your story, and I appreciate them being here to support me. One of the things that it's like I said, it's not easy opening up because in the back of my mind, I was like, these people are going to be in my business.
Hmm.
And I had to fight that. And it's like, this is not my business. This is God's business. And so I just felt the human side of me trying to take over, but I had to remind myself it's not about me. It's about what God is trying to do in me, through me, and to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, again, I just keep saying it, we're excited because we are well into our goals of developing your full package. The website is going, we got the book going, we've already started working on your signature speech. we have a lot of things moving at the same time, but I am just excited for people to see the end product. Thank you, Glenda, for giving us hands claps. I mean, like I said, Carolyn has been a wonderful client, just very open to the process. And I know there are going to be lives changed as a result of her sharing her story. Lucia says, Carolyn, just knowing that your past trauma will be used to glorify Father God is truly amazing. And I'm glad to be a part of it. Thank you so much, Lucia. Glenda, and all of you who came out to encourage her. We are like next week, I really want us to maybe share either the introduction or chapter 1, do our initial reading so that you all can see the direction that the book is going in, and also at the same time be able to see how those elements of a screenplay plot plays into the actual book writing process. So I'm just looking forward overall. Carolyn, I give the last words to you, and I'm again, thank you to everyone who came out to support her. I'm just, again, excited, and I can't wait till you all see the final product.
Thank you again for the opportunity. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for your vision. Thank you for your excitement. Because again, having the right support is crucial. And I'm thanking God that He has brought me to this point in my life where I can unclog and release, continue to release, because as I go, He's continued to heal those hidden things. The one thing that I do want to say, we do what we want to do, no matter how difficult it may be, because it's a battle. It's been a battle since the Lord downloaded this uh this huge endeavor into Miss Jackie. She's been getting fought to the nail, and it's like we're fighting against time. Since I've switched to a different job, trying to get used to it, it's been a battle. So it lets me know I give the devil no glory, but it's going to be worth it. And I just have to laugh at them, and we just have to be open and embrace the change that God is trying to do in us.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a reminder, next week is week 3. So we will be at the halfway point of getting this done. We will be at week 3. Just exciting to see it all come together. Again, thank you to each of you for joining us tonight. We will be doing a raffle, and we will start announcing our winners on social media. So be looking for that. We will announce the winner from last week on tomorrow. So if you joined us last week, your name is in the raffle. We have picked the number, and we're going to continue moving forward. And please come back next week and make sure you tell, let's say, 5 friends about it. To continue supporting Carolyn in her endeavor. And if you can't come back next week, we do have the options for replay tickets, as well as you can just make a donation. That would be great. And if you know any people who are in writers groups or people who are in trauma groups who could benefit from what it is that we're sharing, please let them know about what it is that we're doing. And we're excited to see you again for episode number 3. Thank you, everyone, and good night. Bye. It's time for you to get heard.